to get my back blown out in peace. You think I got time to talk about a divorce that's a year old?
You know how sometimes what looks like sunshine quietly hides a storm? That's exactly the kind of story we're diving into today, a story that whispers behind closed doors, lingers in social media comments, and somehow still burns bright. It's the story of Teyana Taylor, Aaron Pierre, and the rumors that maybe, just maybe, things are not quite as they appear. Some say he's a manipulator. But what if that's only one corner of a much darker, more complicated truth? Picture this: Teyana Taylor, fresh from divorce, rebuilding her life, leaning into love again. Enter Aaron Pierre, actor, creative partner, someone she has spoken highly of. She describes him as gentle, saying he handles her delicately, like a cup of tea. She says being with him feels safe, a space where she can create freely without constantly looking over her shoulder. That's a powerful feeling after years of turbulent waters. If you've survived your own storm, wouldn't you want calm too? But somewhere along the way, the rumors begin. Perhaps it was a comment someone overheard, a social media post, or something shared in passing through DMs or gossip threads, suggestions of behavior that feels controlling. Teyana, always commanding, always outspoken about her feelings, suddenly finds herself at the center of whispers. How could people suggest she's being manipulated? It seems unbelievable, yet people talk. And when someone looks like they're glowing, people want to know who's holding the light, and is that light being controlled? That's how the whispers begin. The questions start small. What about the texts Aaron sends her? Sweet, protective, loving texts, sure, but could they also be possessive? What about the subtle suggestions friends notice? The quiet remarks about her checking with him before speaking publicly or making decisions? At first, these are just jokes, memes, or passing comments. Slowly, though, they accumulate until the line between rumor and reality begins to blur. Then comes the unexpected twist. Her family starts noticing subtle shifts. Maybe they see her energy change, the way she laughs less at family gatherings, or how she stops posting about her sisters like she used to. Maybe someone observes a quiet hesitation, a measured pause, before she speaks. Family members are often the first to notice these small but meaningful changes. Suddenly, someone mutters, "He wants to control her," or worse, "Is he manipulative?" It's a heavy word, implying crossed boundaries, muted voices, and subtle psychological games. Imagine hearing this from people who love her, people who remember the Teyana before Aaron, confident, fiery, unfiltered. And now, you see her holding back, carefully measuring her words, hesitant to share the same content she once did. Not because she doesn't want to, but because someone somewhere has made her question whether she should. That shift terrifies those who care for her. Meanwhile, Aaron continues to be lauded publicly. Teyana herself describes him as gentle, supportive, and understanding. She says, "He sees my vision. He doesn't think I'm crazy." Fans want to believe in her happiness, they want to see her thriving. Yet, public happiness rarely reflects private reality. Then an internet post appears, maybe a screenshot of a leaked family comment. It could be small, a concern about how often Aaron replies to her posts or how protective he seems. Maybe it's called jealousy, maybe dismissed. But once concern is voiced, scrutiny intensifies. Did he tell her what to wear? Did he discourage her from discussing certain topics? Did he subtly isolate her from family? These are the questions that begin to surface as friends and fans alike notice subtle signs. What makes this shocking is that Teyana has always been outspoken. Her songs, her interviews, her public persona, all raw, unfiltered, fearless. But this time, there's hesitation. Perhaps she fears judgment or the backlash of airing private matters. Perhaps she fears revealing that someone she loves may have hurt her, even unintentionally. Then, someone close to her begins to speak quietly. Not to the press, not on social media, but to family and trusted friends. "We don't trust what he says," a relative might whisper. Observers see Teyana retreating, hesitant, caught between love and control. For a proud artist, mother, and partner, this creates an internal struggle. Love can feel like safety, but safety can sometimes feel like control. Perhaps the accusation of manipulation is less about anger and more about heartbreak, not the heartbreak of betrayal, but the heartbreak of realizing someone you trust may be influencing your life more than you realize. Her family notices. Is she still herself when she's with him? Some fans rally to defend her. Don't believe the rumors. She deserves peace. She deserves someone who builds her up, others warn. Maybe this is what subtle control looks like. The story isn't about a dramatic fall from grace. It's about the slow erosion of autonomy, the quiet tension that builds over time. Through all this, Teyana remains cautious in public. No tearful Instagram posts, no explosive press statements, just small confirmations, moments of reassurance. I feel safe, she might say. He handles me with care. But the ambiguity tears at observers' hearts. Are these statements genuine, or are they shields? Are they words of someone healing, or someone protecting what little freedom she has left? Every post, every interview becomes a test. Each smile sparks speculation. Every pause sparks concern. The story is no longer just a celebrity romance, it's about power, narrative, and whether a voice as strong as Teyana's can be softened, muted, or replaced by someone else's influence. Then comes a family voice, clearer this time. Maybe in a private chat, maybe in a conversation that leaks online. I'm worried she's not herself. Perhaps a sibling admits they feel unsafe around Aaron when he's with her. Suddenly, speculation becomes urgent and immediate. The manipulator label isn't coming from tabloids, it's coming from inside her circle. Not out of malice, but out of love. We just want our Teyana back. And in that plea is raw emotion, fear, pain, and the difficulty of distinguishing love from control. At this point, the question isn't whether Aaron is manipulative, it's whether Teyana herself sees it that way. Is she genuinely content, or has her desire for peace led her to overlook small fractures, quiet herself, and live with subtle discomfort? Sometimes, the most insidious manipulation isn't loud, it's the quiet insistence that everything is fine, that love naturally works its way, that she'll be okay. Then, public perception begins to shift. An influencer posts an interview with someone claiming to be a mutual friend. They hint at moments where Aaron encouraged her to cancel plans without explanation or gently criticized her in ways that felt limiting. Nothing overtly abusive, just enough to create doubt. Meanwhile, Teyana's music and public presence remain strong. Her performances continue, her posts remain vibrant, and she praises Aaron's care publicly. To outsiders, she appears strong, but friends quietly wonder, is she hiding something, protecting herself, or safeguarding the image of love and security she's built? Perhaps she eventually sits down for a trusted interview. Smiles are present, but her eyes betray a deeper story. She speaks carefully, never naming Aaron, never issuing accusations, yet her pauses, her tone, her hesitation, these speak louder than any headline. The space between words becomes as telling as the words themselves. Between fear disguised as love and strength masked as silence lies the real tension. Maybe the true manipulation is not him, it's the story she tells herself. Her family, meanwhile, plays a critical role. They aren't tearing down her love. They are striving to protect her from disappearing into it. Now, the question becomes, does she break free, or does she rewrite the rules of love on her own terms? Everyone admires a strong woman, but few allow her the space to redefine her strength when her truth evolves. If she begins to prioritize her own sense of self over public perception, that could be the most powerful moment of all. This story is still unfolding. It is not rumor, it is possibility, and possibility is where truth begins. Teyana's journey reminds us that behind every public image lies complexity, love, trust, fear, and autonomy intertwined in ways that aren't always visible. Observers may debate what is true, but what matters most is the space for her to explore, to protect herself, and to reclaim her voice. If you followed along, think about what this story teaches us about perception, control, and the quiet struggles that can exist behind the public persona of a celebrity. Sometimes silence is loud, and the next word, the next action, can change everything. Thank you for listening to the story as it stands, not as rumor, but as possibility. If this resonated with you, like, share, and comment what you believe is really happening. Stay tuned, because in stories like this, the next chapter can redefine everything.